boy Wayne here, and today we're going to be talking about how I saved $3,000 in 3 months. Last week, I was reviewing a video on how a lady saved up $100,000 in I think it was 3 years or so. It was a couple of years, but she didn't really tell us her budget or how she saved it up or what exactly she did. It was kind of vague actually. So in this video, I'm going to share with you my story of how I saved up $3,000 in 3 months. Let's dive into it. Our story begins in 2006, January of 2006 to be specific. I was working in a warehouse making minimum wage. No, I think it was $6 an hour, if I'm not mistaken. My budget at the time was I was paying $100 a month in rent. That's because I was living with my grandmother at the time. I had a $60 a month cell phone bill. I was spending anywhere between $30 and $40 a week in gas. And my car was falling apart. So I wanted to save $3,000 to go buy a new one. I had an original goal set to save $500 a month, and I was going to save it up in 6 months. My goal was to save it up in 6 months, $500 a month. But something interesting happened, and that is I received a larger than expected tax return that year. And if I'm not mistaken, it was around $1,000, somewhere around that. I think it was maybe $800 or so, which was great. I'm going to put this money towards my goal of $3,000. No, I know a lot of you out there are going to say,
well, that's not really true that you saved up with $3,000 because you had a $1,000 start.
And let me explain something to you, okay? If you get a raise, if you get a bonus, and you're trying to save up money, then that's part of saving up the money. You know, any extra money that you receive in your income should go towards your savings, towards your goals. That's how that works. So to say that you shouldn't include your tax refund, well, that's kind of stupid. Because you should include that. You should definitely include that if you can. So I included that. So that gave me a little bit of a head start. However, I still had to save up $2,000. And the way I was able to save the other $2,000 and do this in 3 months was very, very simple. And this is something that I really want to drive home. And that is that I stopped eating out. That's right. I cut out all eating out. No fast food restaurants, no restaurants, no nothing. Every day I brought my lunch, made peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, made ham sandwiches, and just brought stuff from the house. By doing that, I was able to save $1,000 a month. Now, granted, I know some people are going to say,
well, your expenses were low at the time too.
And they kind of were. But I mean, I was making minimum wage at the time too. And so if you're making minimum wage, then obviously your expenses are not going to be that high. Or they shouldn't be, at least anyway. If they are, then you have a serious problem on your hand. And I think that needs to be addressed before you try to save money. So I was able to save up the $3,000 that I needed. And I went and bought a brand new 2006 Bentley coupe. No, I'm just kidding. I bought I think it was 1998 Ford Mustang. It was ocean blue. Had a little bit of miles on it. I think it had like 75,000 miles, which wasn't bad given the year. You know, it was almost a decade old. It was a 10-year-old car. Only had 75,000 miles. That's pretty good, actually. And It didn't really need a lot of work. I think the only thing I had to do with that car was do something with the radiator. The radiator was busted or something like that, which that wasn't nothing. There was like $100, to fix that. Compared to my other car, which was rusted and, I think the engine was about to fall out of it. So that was going to be a couple of $1,000s a month. That was going to be a couple of $1,000s to do that. So I think in the grand scheme of things, I actually did pretty good. Now, eventually what wound up happening with that car was that I didn't get insurance on it, and I wound up wrecking it. So I guess the moral of the story is to always get insurance, especially when you buy a car cash, and then always buy a car cash. Don't lease, don't, try to do these, what is it called? Basically, stay away from leases. Leases will kill your budget. If you ever want to stay poor, lease a car, because that would just kill your budget right there. But that's the story of how I saved up $3,000. You can scoff at me all you want, but I'm gonna do it again, and I'm gonna do it even bigger this time, this year. And I'm gonna try to save up $10,000 in 6 months. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Twitter. I do not have a Facebook group set up yet. That's somewhere down the road. The website is getting built, and once that gets launched, we're gonna go ahead and start doing that. And I got some big things planned. But watch, you're gonna see how I save up $10,000 to buy an investment property. You're gonna see it on this channel. This channel is going to change your life if you allow it. You just gotta stay tuned, man. That's all you gotta do, is just stay tuned. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.